Good evening and welcome to Monday. It's July 21st and this is the NCWLIFE Evening News. It's Grant Olson's last night of vacation. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Coming out of the weekend, it was a pretty newsy couple of days, as we say in the business. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. One man is dead and two others in custody after gunfire broke out Sunday at an Ephrata filling station. Police say the victim was pronounced dead at the scene. The Wenatchee Landing Development Project in Douglas County is still just a dream, but it's a little closer to reality after an infusion of federal dollars, thanks to the 4th District's congressman. Rain is sometimes a nice change of pace for this time of year in north central Washington, unless it means a flood watch. That's one factor in this evening's weather report. Dan Kuntz of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley fills in for Grant one more time during our forecast later on in this broadcast. But first, our top story tonight. Working on tips from a former resident and a possible signal from a cadaver dog, East Wenatchee police spent the weekend digging out the crawl space of a local residence. Detective Sergeant Ben Fauconnier told NCWLIFE it was an effort to verify a tip regarding a previously unknown murder case dating to the 1990s, in which the informant claimed human remains might have been buried beneath the house years ago. The tip centered on East Wenatchee City Council member Ralph Aiken Jr., who was declared dead after his small plane went missing in Alaska in 2006. With the current homeowner's permission, police brought two cadaver-detecting dogs to the site. One of the dogs gave an alert of a possible finding. The other dog did not. To be certain, investigators dug roughly a dump truck's worth of soil out from under the house by hand, but found no remains and no other evidence of a crime. Fauconnier says there appears to be no further information to pursue, and his office feels it's done its due diligence. A fatal shooting Sunday night in Ephrata left one man dead and led to two arrests. Police say it happened at the Hawk fuel station on Basin Street Northwest about 7:40 last night. Investigators say there was a disturbance near the gas pumps, followed by gunfire. Officers found one male victim with multiple gunshot wounds who was pronounced dead at the scene. Two people were arrested soon afterward, one on suspicion of homicide and one as an alleged accomplice. Grant County Jail records show 30-year-old Heriberto Mendoza was booked after the incident on suspicion of second-degree murder. The victim's name had yet to be released this afternoon. The Wenatchee School District is facing what it calls a significant and immediate challenge as the U.S. Department of Education withholds billions in federal funding for schools nationwide. On Friday, the district anticipated a $2.9 million loss of funding for migrant education, multilingual education, before and after school programs, and teacher training. Today, the district's communication director, Diana Hagland, told NCWLIFE the funds for after-school programs have been released by the department, but not for the other programs. Hagland said there is still about $2.4 million withheld, and the district may receive more funding in that category, but there are no definite numbers yet. The district said it originally thought the federal funding cuts would come in the 2026-27 school year, but this rescission of funds will require budget adjustments for the school year that starts next month. Well, June was officially Ride Transit Month, when Americans are encouraged to ride their local bus or other commuter service rather than using their own vehicles. Better late than never, Dan Kuntz sought out some Link Transit coach operators, the folks who get you from point A to point B, and he asked them what they love about their jobs.
It's fun to educate others, so like when I was doing the Chelan, I could tell them about the Chelan Dart that maybe they didn't know about. To be able to get where they need to go in Chelan if we weren't going that way, it's fun.
What's your dream route? The one that everybody wants to do?
That's tough, because I really do. I love driving in the 40-foot buses, either to Leavenworth or Chelan, because they're the most comfortable to drive. But I really do love Link Plus. So
because
it's one-on-one.
Yeah.
And you get to be a little bit more personable. And I don't know, I just get to love on people and make a difference. I mean, you make a difference every day driving the bus, even the big buses, but in Link Plus, it's more disabled and elderly, and it's just like you get that one-on-one connection.
When I was a kid, my dad was a truck driver. I always wanted to be like my dad. And when Link started, I was only 11 years old. And I saw how the coach operators were driving, and it felt really nice when I was a passenger. And I said to myself, I want to be like them. I want to drive these big buses. I don't know, it feels like I want to do it. And with time, I applied and I got the job. I got hired thanks to the staff that hired me. And I just enjoy driving. I like to see the outdoors, what's happening in our streets, in our community, what's growing, what's everything. So, I mean, ever since then.
Been here 17 years, almost 18 years. You must really like it.
I don't like it. I enjoy it. I tell my passengers, this is my hobby. I just like driving it.
When we come back, a motorcyclist from East Wenatchee perished on Saturday while traveling near Pateros. We'll tell you how that fatal crash happened right after this.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE channel. $10 million in federal funding will go toward the Wenatchee Landing Project to help Douglas County address transportation and safety issues. U.S. Representative Dan Newhouse, who represents Washington's 4th District, secured more than $23 million for several central Washington infrastructure projects last week. The funding will provide safety upgrades at the planned commercial site, including a separated pedestrian and bicycle path, improved sidewalks, and better connectivity to Highway 2 and Highway 28. The improvements are meant to reduce accidents and support sustainable transportation needs in the area. In May, Douglas County officials welcomed U.S. Senator Patty Murray to the Wenatchee Landing location to ask for her help in turning the area into a major commercial development. A motorcyclist from East Wenatchee was killed Saturday in a collision on Highway 153 outside Pateros. The Washington State Patrol says 60-year-old Edward P. Holgren was traveling north on a 2008 Triumph America bike at approximately 10 a.m. when he failed to negotiate a right-hand curve. Holgren crossed the center line and struck a southbound 2017 Honda Accord. Debris from that collision then struck a northbound Kia Soul. Holgren was pronounced dead at the scene of the crash, and the other 3 individuals involved were not injured. Highway 282, the southeast entrance into the city of Ephrata, closed down today and will remain closed for about 8 weeks. The Washington Department of Transportation says the shutdown between Airport Road and Dodson Road involves construction of a new roundabout at Southeast Avenue. The closure affects traffic to and from Moses Lake. Traffic will be diverted around the work area by way of Airport Street, 5th Avenue, and Nat Washington Way. The DOT says the full highway closure is required for safety and logistical reasons. Coming up next, a new pop-up pizzeria is serving up slices in an East Wenatchee parking lot. The owners say it's the homemade style that makes their pizzas unique. And in weather, who can take an overcast day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile? By golly, it's Dan Kuntz laying down the local forecast. He's coming up next, followed by Eric Granstrom with sports. Stay with us.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition.
Holy Pepperoni, Abby Man. It's the hometown hero bursting onto the scene this July at a special price, starring classic pepperoni, green peppers, and Italian sausage. One bite and wham. Don't miss the summer's biggest blockbuster. The hometown hero has arrived at Abby's.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
The pitch by Busich.
Wenatchee Apple Sox are back on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch as they take on the Edmonton Riverhawks Tuesday, July 22nd. Coverage is brought to you in part by Kennedy Real Estate Group, La Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Chava, Together for Youth, and Valley Tractor. Your exclusive television home for Apple Sox baseball, NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The Valley Pizza Joint is a new pop-up pizzeria in the parking lot of JB Steamers in East Wenatchee. Owners Michaela and Michael Rivera are officially moving their homemade pizzas out of their backyard for the community to enjoy. Their current permit only allows them to operate for the summertime, so they're eager to get their pizzas into the hands of customers before the fall season begins.
So we have been together almost 20 years, dating, married like 15. We've been doing pizza at home for like what, 2-3 years? Yeah, 2 or 3 years. But as far as like in a commercial aspect, we've only been doing it a month. So this is all new. So my really good friend owns JB Steamers, and we're just so fortunate that she actually offered for us to be in her parking lot to use it when she's not. So our menu we thought about for a really long time. What's your favorite that you came up with?
Well, my favorite will be the chorizo and pepperoni, and maybe some chicken on it. So it's a little bit more of a meaty type pizza, you know, but that's something that I can't really find nowhere else, you know, so I make it my own, you know. So then same thing with her. She had a few recipes passed down from her dad had a business, so, you know, and she liked a few of them too, so she picked some of those.
So my dad owned Troy's Pizza in Iniat for 20 years, and then he actually moved to Arkansas. So he has a pizza restaurant, other restaurant in Arkansas. Our best seller by far is the Breast of Fire pizza. It is one from my dad. My whole childhood, my dad owned a pizza restaurant. He still does, and so not here, so we're not stealing. But it is a spicy Alfredo, essentially, with chicken, cheese, and then you can customize it, onions, jalapenos, things like that. So our schedule is sporadic. We are rolling with the health department's schedule that we were approved with. So essentially every Monday on our Instagram or our Facebook, which is the Valley Pizza Joint on Instagram and on Facebook, I will post if we will be open that Friday. So if there's a Monday and you don't see that post, unfortunately that Friday we won't be open. But any other times we'll post on there, let you know what times we'll be here. Essentially our hours will always be from 6 till whenever we feel like. Maybe 11, maybe midnight, I don't know.
Our first day was I think like midnight.
We closed at midnight, 12:30, something like that. It was fun. We got to get the bar crowd at the end.
We wanted to be seen.
Yeah. So we have our friend that brings his DJ booth, which is awesome. We love a good party. And unless we sell out, we'll be here till at least 10 or 11.
I believe the most rewarding thing that we, at least for me and probably her, is just seeing how people like our pizza.
Yeah.
You know, because that's something that we've been doing for a few years, just family, like making parties and just telling people like come get pizzas because we've been trying to.
What if our family just says it's good and it's not?
You know, so now that we've seen the reaction, I think that's a really big satisfaction, and it makes the effort worth it.
So much more fun.
You know, so you know, something that we were trying to get good budget on the prices and everything. You know, so that comes with it, and you know, if we can create something good and good service with it, I think we got nothing to lose here, you know, as long as we're giving our all.
So the future, there's so many possibilities. I don't know.
I mean, I think there's definitely a big picture behind this little picture, you know, and there's definitely a future, and hopefully a future for us and our family, you know.
We like to dream big.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, we want to bring a lot of good stuff to this valley because we've been here for a long time. We love it. So, you know, a big deal will be, you know, getting our own business, our own restaurant.
A brick and mortar would be the absolute dream.
And of course, with something that's family related, you know, that's something that's for the adults and something for the little kids, you know.
Yeah, we have both.
And we can all come together and have pizza together.
Yeah.
Happy Monday, everybody. Dan Kuntz one more time filling in for Grant Olson. We passed the hat. We raised the bail money. Grant will be back tomorrow. Beautiful view from our Lake Wenatchee camera. This is the kind of weather conditions that make the skeeters real happy up Lake Wenatchee way. Overcast, mild, no wind. I hope you're not getting bitten to death if you're up there in the Lake Wenatchee area. And don't forget, Wednesday morning, you can go fishing for sockeye right there at the top of Lake Wenatchee. A certain sports director will be doing that. Can't wait to see him on Wednesday. All right, we do have that flood watch that's going on. It started just a few hours ago, goes until this evening. Most of the isolated rain and the pop-up thunderstorms are going to be relegated to the north of us. You folks in the Medhow Valley and you folks up in the Omak-Okanagan area, more cloud cover, more instability as a big low pressure ridge is sitting there spinning counterclockwise, taking a bunch of cool, unstable air our way. It's just right down at the bottom of that flood watch is the Wenatchee Valley. We should avoid any significant thunderstorms or even sudden bursts of rain, but we are going to see some light rain before this day is said and done. Another cool day today. It was a cool weekend, much below normal temperatures. We only hit 81 on Sunday. We didn't even get to that today. 78 again is ushering in some pretty cool air in addition to the unstable atmosphere that we're dealing with today and a little bit tomorrow. Days are getting shorter. Today was 2 minutes shorter than Sunday, and tomorrow will be 2 minutes shorter than today. It is, after all, that time of the year. High temperatures tomorrow, 84s all over the place. Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy 84, Wenatchee 84. A little cooler in Ellensburg. Also a little cooler up in Omak. Omak, you folks up north, you're going to have a lot more cloud cover tomorrow than we will because of the elevation change and the fact that that low pressure ridge is going to move down right over the top of us on Tuesday, which will give the folks in the Upper Valley another shot of some late afternoon thunderstorms for tomorrow. What's going on? There's a low pressure ridge right there. It's doing what it does. It's spinning counterclockwise. It's grabbing some cool, unstable air from the British Columbia area, and it's bringing it right down to us, which is why we have all the instability and the cooler temperatures today. And we could see a pop-up thunderstorm all the way until 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. That low right there will be right over north central Washington tomorrow, and that means still some instability in the atmosphere, but then it's going to be replaced by a ridge of high pressure. Not a big dome. This time of the year when we get those domes, a high pressure really radiates the heat. This high pressure ridge that's going to set up on Wednesday is actually a flat ridge, which will allow a few high clouds occasionally to pass over the Wenatchee Valley. And most of all, it won't make us real hot, but there's also nothing out there to knock that ridge of high pressure out. So a flat ridge of high pressure Wednesday means we're going to top off at about 91. Thursday is going to be the warmest day of the forecast period, up to 94 degrees. The overnight lows will be just about normal, right around 63 or 64. And so that is what we're going to be looking at into the weekend with a gradual cooling trend by the time we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and could see a little breeze here and there in some locations, especially to the north of us as those winds channel down through those canyons up to the north of us. Those narrow little areas can really get the winds picking up. And Waterville, you're going to have a little wind too, but you're used to it by now. And the weekend, not bad at all. Temperatures just slightly above normal. Not a lot of wind, quite a bit of sunshine, right back to typical July weather once we get through the rest of the day today and part of the day on Tuesday. Tuesday night is when things are going to start stabilizing and that low pressure ridge will exit the area and that high pressure flat ridge will begin to make itself felt. And it's going to hang around all the way through till about Sunday into Monday. And then Monday is kind of a little too far out for the computer models to agree on what they think might happen on Monday. But for the time being, it doesn't look too bad. All right, still some instability out there. We could see some more raindrops before this day is over. Some of the rain is falling at such a high elevation that it's not actually hitting the ground. It's dissipating before it even gets to the Wenatchee Valley. 78 today, 84 tomorrow. Best chance of some rain mid to late morning on Tuesday before the low pressure exits the area. High pressure comes in Tuesday into Wednesday. By Thursday, it will be here. And again, it's a flat ridge of high pressure, but there's nothing out there to knock it out of alignment. So we're in for some sunny and warm weather once we get to Wednesday. All right, that's your forecast. Eric Granstrom has sports. It's coming up next. You're watching a Monday edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The pitch by Busich. Shot on a miss. The Wenatchee Apple Sox are back on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch as they take on the Bellingham Bells Friday, August 1st. Coverage is brought to you in part by Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Chava, Together for Youth, and Valley Tractor. Your exclusive television home for Apple Sox baseball, NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
Well, a happy Monday to you. Hope you had a good weekend. It didn't end well Sunday for the Mariners, but they did take 2 of 3 from the Astros over the weekend at T-Mobile Park. Seattle broke open a close game late Friday night, coming away with a 6-1 victory. On Saturday, the game went 11 innings before it was decided by Cole Young's walk-off single. Houston hit 2 homers off Brian Wu Sunday to claim an 11-3 victory.
2-2. Is being waved in, and he scores standing. J.P. Crawford in the 8th inning cashes in a little insurance, and it's 3-1 Mariners. Again, the 3-2. Line drive, right field, touches down, base hit. Crawford into third, wave it home. Julio throttles down at third base, and Cal Raleigh delivers in the 8th inning yet again. 3-1. Altuve does not have a strong arm. Julio at third. This is shallow. Here is the throw. Julio is safe. This is a big one to get. Kicks away. Cal Raleigh is on his way home, and he scores standing. It's a 5-run lead as the floodgates have opened up for the Mariners in the 8th inning. This ball nowhere near. Starts a hard one to keep in front of you. See Cal Raleigh just trotting home. Fair ball to first base. Solano with Bizzardo covering, and that's a capper of a Mariners win, 6-1. As they creep a game closer to the Astros, they take it 6-1, the final score. Line down the line. The Mariners are winning this one tonight. Walk-off base hit, Cole Young. They have taken the series, winning the first 2 games, and they have inched a game closer to first place.
Here it is, Cole Young in the 11th inning, coming through the second walk-off hit. And that was off a split, too. The toughest pitch you're going to face from Hector Neris with 2 strikes and a huge at-bat and a huge win, taking this series from the Houston Astros.
Ball skied to left field. All the way back is Chaz McCormick and Taylor Trammell. Trammell makes the catch at the wall, and that'll do it on a Sunday afternoon as the Astros salvage a game in this series. A big win, 11-3. They scored the final 11 runs in the game. And Blummer, that's about as much needed a win as the Astros have had all year.
Seattle's back at it tonight with the Brewers coming to town at 6:40. That'll be on Root Sports Northwest. Well, Houston's lead in the American League West is now 4 games over Seattle after the weekend. Texas took 2 of 3 from Detroit despite a 2-1 loss Sunday and remains 7.5 games back. Angels top Philadelphia 8-2 to take 2 of 3 and are a half game behind the Rangers. Athletics lost to Cleveland Sunday 8-2 and remain 16 games out of first place. Well, as the Seahawks prepare for training camp to get underway this week, they have made a significant roster change. Seattle released veteran tight end Noah Fant Sunday. He came to the Seahawks as part of that Russell Wilson trade back in 2022. In his 3 seasons in Seattle, Fant had 1,400 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns. Training camp will get underway Wednesday at the VMAC in Renton. Biggest question mark going into camp is whether quarterback Sam Darnold can hold on to the starting job. So far in minicamp and OTAs, Darnold has been pushed by free agent Drew Lock and 3rd-round draft pick Jalen Milroe. We are just 17 days away from Seattle's first preseason game at Lumen Field against the Raiders August 7th. The Apple Sox came from behind for a 4-3 win over Nanaimo Sunday to complete a 3-game weekend sweep of the Night Owls. Mitch Haythorne gave up 3 runs in the top of the first as the Night Owls brought 8 men to the plate. Wenatchee responded and eventually took the lead in the 6th, while Joe Thornton slammed the door over the final 3 innings for the 4-3 win. Wenatchee returns to play tomorrow night in the first of a big showdown with Edmonton. The Riverhawks concluded a 3-game sweep of Kamloops Sunday with an 18-3 win. The Riverhawks scored 33 runs on 36 hits in the series. Bellingham took 2 of 3 from Victoria to slow down the Harbor Cats' roll Sunday 4-2. Kelowna pounded Port Angeles 14-3. Portland improved to 31-6 on the season with a 6-3 win over Yakima Valley. Corvallis salvaged the final game of its series with Springfield, winning 4-3. Walla Walla stopped the Marionberry Sunday 5-4 to take 2 of 3 in that series. Bend took 2 of 3 from Cowlitz with yesterday's 10-9 decision. Elks walked it off on Jace Miller's leadoff home run in the bottom of the 9th. Edmonton has leapfrogged Victoria into first place in the WCL North Division second half race. Wenatchee's sweep has put the Apple Sox tied with Kelowna 3 games behind Edmonton. Now, if the season were to end today, Wenatchee has put themselves into the playoffs. Apple Sox sweep of Nanaimo combined with Edmonton's sweep of Kamloops puts Wenatchee into the number 3 playoff seed in the North. Victoria dropped from number 2 to number 4, losing home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Apple Sox will still have 15 games left to play, including a 3-game series this week against Edmonton and 3 games this weekend at Victoria. After 3 against Port Angeles, Wenatchee finishes the home part of the schedule with 3 against Bellingham before wrapping up the season with 3 in Kelowna. NCW Life Channel will bring you live coverage of tomorrow's matchup between Wenatchee and Edmonton at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Join yours truly and Brandon Schmidt with a call beginning with our pregame at 6:30. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Monday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can always find us at ncwlife.com or on our social media channels or our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Play a reporter by emailing us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Grant Olson will be back in this chair tomorrow night. Please join us then.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
The pitch by Busich.
Wenatchee Apple Sox are back on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch as they take on the Edmonton Riverhawks Tuesday, July 22nd. Coverage brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Your exclusive television home for Apple Sox baseball is the NCWLIFE channel.